With the GoCurrency.com sports ticker, I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network. Happy Wednesday, Huskers fans. Nebraska football head coach Mickey Joseph met with the media today before his team leaves for Rutgers tomorrow. Among many topics, he discussed Travis Vokolek's importance and role after successfully returning from an early season injury.
Yes, I think he will. He came back from injuries, but I think Travis is a big part of this offense. You know, I know we look for him to catch balls, but he's a great run blocker, and he also helps pass protect also. So he's got a big role in this offense, but I think we'll see more of him.
We'll hear more from Coach Joseph later in this hour, and then we'll hear from Travis Vokolek's position coach, tight ends coach Sean Beckton. Takes over an hour or two for the Nebraska football radio show. In Huskers news today, Nebraska women's basketball sophomore forward Alexis Markowski was named to the preseason All-Big Ten team today. As a freshman last season, Markowski averaged a team-best 15.6 points and 8.6 rebounds per game during conference play as a freshman, on her way to a Big Ten Freshman of the Year award and second-team All-Big Ten selection. Another Husker receiving recognition today is wide receiver Trey Palmer, who is a standout in his first season since transferring to Nebraska from LSU, earning his way onto the Biletnikoff Award watch list this week, as he is currently second in the Big Ten in catches with 36 and in third in yards with 480 receiving yards. Trey is currently ranked 10th in the country, averaging 7.2 catches per game. And another Husker to take home some accolades this week, Nebraska cross country's freshman phenom, Alea Hardy, has been named the Big Ten Women's Cross Country Athlete of the Week for the second time this season. Hardy ran a school record 5K time of 16 minutes 44.2 seconds, winning the women's gold division by 13 seconds at the Joe Piani Invite in South Bend last week. Alea is the first Husker ever to win multiple weekly honors in one season. And after returning 3 All-Americans this season, Huskers bowling was ranked 3rd in the country in the NTCA preseason poll released today. They begin their season at the Motive Penguin Classic in Youngstown, Ohio, from October 14th through the 16th. In pro sports tonight, Major Leagues wrapping up the regular season today. Many games in action. Very quickly, we'll run through some of the scores currently going on. The Marlins and Braves in a wild one. That one's 12-8 in the top of the 8th. The Mets crushing the Nationals after losing the NL East, taking out some frustration there. They are up 9-0. That's going into the 4th inning. In the top of the 9th, it's 7-1. Giants all over the Padres. The Red Sox lead the Rays 4-3 in the bottom of the 8th, and the Cubs are bludgeoning the Reds 13-2. That one also in the 8th. This update is presented by Currency. Does your business need help financing big-ticket items like equipment, trucks, and trailers? Currency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Here's the serve by Kenzie Knuckles. Overpass, shot back, Whitney Lonstein. Kaboom! Whew, she's waking babies all over Piscataway. 2-0 Nebraska.
Steps, throws for the end zone, has a man out there. The pass is caught. It is a touchdown, Nebraska. Oliver Martin pulls it in.
Pulls her setter off. Only choice outside. Ivy stuffed. Kaylin Horde. Textbook block. It's 18-16 Maryland.
Evans awaits the snap. Good snap. Huskers come after him and block the ball. It's picked up by Hartzog. Malcolm racing to the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska. Malcolm Hartzog picks up the ball, blocked by Chris Kolarvik, and Nebraska has a special teams touchdown.
Yes! Yes! A special teams touchdown for the Big Red.
Served by Sam Sire. Maddie Kubik. Good pass. Ani Evans gives it right back to Maddie. Kaboom! Woo-hoo!
Snap back to Casey. Has some time. Takes a deep shot down the field looking for Trey Palmer. He goes out. He makes a catch. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are, back for another night of Sports Nightly. Big night ahead of us. We've got our football show a day earlier because the Huskers play on Friday, not Saturday. So tight ends coach Sean Beckton will be here in hour number 2. Looking forward to chatting with him about the win over Indiana. What's the week been like? And then his tight ends. That's a group that, certainly has had to dig deep with injuries to Thomas Fedoni, who's not played yet this year. And then you had Travis Vokalek miss a couple of games. And I kind of feel like Casey Thompson and Travis's timing's not back yet. What have you seen?
Yeah, I agree. And it was definitely on point at the start against Northwestern. And that was what we saw in fall camp. They had definitely developed that rhythm, that chemistry. And then when it just is not back yet. So hopefully that helps and that gets in now that they have a game under their belt, that hopefully they get that figured out, because Travis could be an absolute just weapon that could really open some things up if they get going again. We saw how well the offense was moving when he was involved in the offense.
When he got hurt in that Northwestern game, that's about the time Nebraska's offense kind of got unplugged.
Yeah, I'm not saying, I don't know. It's hard to say, and again, you don't want to make guarantees, but I really think Nebraska wins that game if Travis Vokalek doesn't get hurt.
Kind of with you.
I mean, just because the way that Northwestern just had such problems with him, and then once he went out, that's when they started sputtering. And it was almost like, and he's a captain at that, and so being out on the field, and the offensive line was still, he talks with the offensive line a lot. He's involved with Coach Raiola talks with him a lot. He's a big help, communicating across the board with the wide receivers, with the quarterbacks. I mean, he's a big voice out there. So I think in not only in him catching the football, because that was a big part of what he was doing against Northwestern, but also the communication out there, the blocking. It really hurt this offense when he went down. So I don't know. I mean, maybe that game goes differently if he doesn't go down.
Yeah, but on the other side of that, we have seen this offense just kind of disappear at times. And Mark Whipple talked about it yesterday, about how he gets frustrated because he goes, I expect the guys to do that a lot, because we do it at times where we just look like a thing of beauty. And then for 5 drives, we don't do anything. So we have kind of seen the offense hit and miss this year. He wants to smooth that out, make more hits than misses.
Yeah, and I think they all believe that this offense is capable of doing that. So I think that's what's the frustrating part, is that when they're clicking on all cylinders, what's holding this team back from doing that? Because they are absolutely capable of doing that consistently for an entire game. So, whether it be Casey making a decision, and not throwing the football and taking a sack, whether it be a dumb penalty, from the offensive line, from Trey Palmer even. There's just certain things I think that have been holding this offense back, but they are certainly capable of putting that pedal to the metal for 4 quarters. And so what's it going to take for them to get to do that? And hopefully they're getting closer to doing that.
Absolutely. And we kind of knew, we even talked about this in the summer with all the new parts on offense, that it was going to take a little bit of time for them to find their rhythm. Well, now is the time to go. And we heard Mark Whipple last night say, we can win this West. We're right there. Everybody's right there. And he says, why not? And so I think the team has kind of bought into that this week. Let's hope so.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can get caught up probably early on of, man, didn't play like we wanted to, had the losses, because that's not what they fully had hoped to go into that Oklahoma game 3-0. And so, but then you look up and, there's a lot of football left to be played in the conference. And then you look up and everybody's tied right now. There's, right there's no clear favorite. Nobody's taken a hold of that thing yet. So absolutely, there's everything on the table. And this team believes that. And honestly, they've been saying that for the entire time, but I think now they believe it, and so I think there's been a change in the mindset over the last couple of weeks, and they got to keep it going. But you have said it, and let's see how that they carry that over into this week. But getting that win is absolutely massive, and being able to finish, and not just because they beat Northwestern last year, but they blew the brakes off of them from start to finish. The Indiana game was a game they were tied at half. They had to go get over some adversity. They had to figure out how to go finish. That was a different win than the Northwestern win a year ago.
Yeah, it was a win where they had to dig deep, and we haven't seen them do that late in games in a tie situation, make plays, and they did. And I love that drive. After Nebraska got the lead at 28-21, I love that drive that only went 54 yards. I've got it right here. but they took 6 minutes off the clock.
Yep,
And
yep.
they scored and they put it away.
Yeah, because
Loved
then
it.
it wasn't just, oh, let's go fast and pull out some plays that, let's get this score quickly. But then they were able to manage it and finesse the clock and, put the defense also in a good situation, but then take their time, but then still able to get the first down when they needed to. And so, the way that they managed that was
Loved it.
big time for this offense.
Winning drive is what that was,
yep.
and that was really fun to see them do. We haven't seen much of that around here the last couple of years. Mickey Joseph met with the media today. We'll play some of the highlights of that here in a little bit. And we have our Choices Treatment Center Big Ten predictions coming up this hour. We have a new weekly winner.
Yes, we do.
The Revenge Tour is off track for a week. So we'll see what that is all about coming up here in just a little bit. Time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. A little bit of news out of the athletic department today, and it deals with one of our own, and that's Matt Davison. It was announced today that he is leaving the university to start one of those collectives. It's called an initiative, the 1890 Initiative. It's an initiative to launch in support of Nebraska student athletes, particularly football and volleyball, with NIL. These are these collectives we've been talking about, and Matt's going to go head this up and run this for some folks, including successful businessmen Tom and Sean Peed, who run Sandhills Publishing. They're great friends of ours here on the network because they have Go Currency and all those type of different businesses they have here in Lincoln. And there was in the release, there was a little clip from Nebraska Athletic Director Trev Alberts, who said, "I want to thank Matt for his hard work in Husker athletics. Matt has a passion for Nebraska, and we look forward to this new initiative of 1890. As I've said many times, Nebraska is positioned to be a leader in name, image, and likeness, and it's a positive when we have this many people that are in groups that want to help our student athletes. The collective will give our young men and women another opportunity in the NIL world." I think Nebraska is positioned pretty well on this thing. They had the one that came out of the Omaha group a month or so ago. So Matt's going to go head up that. He's not leaving the broadcast, still going to be with us on game days. We've had that's kind of been unclear all throughout the day. I got a lot of calls, emails, even people applying for the job today. But Matt's not leaving the broadcast booth. He's just leaving athletics, but still going to be working pretty tightly with the athletic department.
I think that he will be so good at that. And also you think about, he has a perspective of being on the inside. When these NIL and collectives start, a lot of times there are people that haven't been on the inside of an athletics department and
Correct.
haven't been with a football team and haven't been throughout the process of a recruit coming on campus and talking about, NIL perspective deals. And so we know that he was fantastic in helping to raise money for this facility out here that's going up. And so I think he'll be really good at that, but also has a perspective from the inside of being able to know how to work with these student athletes and what they're kind of looking for. But also, look, it's a big part of college athletics now. And we've
Huge.
heard Trev talk about it a bunch. And so to have another group that's going to be able to help with that regard, and especially right now with not knowing who the head coach is.
Right.
And so, but hey, you're still going to have recruits that are looking to have that NIL potential. And the fact that there are multiple companies here that have former players, but also have knowledge of the inside and working with the athletics department like Matt Davison does, it's going to be big in terms of getting kids still want to come here when there's uncertainty as far as the head coach goes.
I'll add a third prong to that for Matt. A lot of people may not remember, it's been a while, but Matt used to sell for the network. So he is familiar with a lot of our main sponsors here on the network. So he knows those people, and he can figure out who's a good match. Who would be a good match for Lexi Rodriguez or somebody that here goes, man, that company could really do well with that athlete or this athlete, and obviously incoming athletes will be a big part of it as well.
Yeah, and I know that it's come out the news that with Playfly and our network, and so we've talked a little bit about that, but also we know, Matt, if there comes a potential where we can do
Absolutely.
something with NIL deals, that's
Huge.
that's a great partnership to have too, that we'll be able to do moving forward here on our network and on our shows and our platforms. And so I think it's Matt wants his program to be successful,
Sure
and
does.
he is a fan of the volleyball program, and so he's going to help support in any way they can. And I don't think it's a bad thing that there's multiple NIL companies that are going to try to provide these opportunities for our student athletes.
They are going to absorb kind of the first one, which was a group called ABM. They're going to kind of absorb them and take them over and move maybe a little bit different direction with that as well. So that's going to happen in the coming weeks. But Matt will still be with Jessica and I on the broadcast for the rest of the season. So looking forward to seeing him in the booth on Friday. All right, 402-413-2400. Number if you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text. Let's head to Minnesota. Tim, you're up next. Good evening.
Good evening, and happy birthday, Greg.
Oh,
Happy
thank you.
birthday!
Thank you, buddy.
I totally forgot. Thanks, Tim. I brought you cupcakes, but I forgot to wish you happy birthday off the top. My bad. Tim coming in the clutch.
All right, well, okay, let's see. I had a little feedback there. Okay, also, since talking tight ends, and I tried to do this in a text, and it didn't work out very well, but one thing I've been enjoying and being nostalgic was listening to on YouTube to Husker classics of the past, and what I came across, and my favorite was that '94 game against Colorado, and it seemed not just the defense and Brooke Barringer, but that game seemed like our tight ends really were used extremely well, and didn't hurt that one of your predecessors, KP, was doing the call, and that's the other thing that was really cool about it, actually being able to catch that with Gary Settlemeyer and stuff. So that's one of my favorites. I have been listening to that one, and I've also been able to listen to another one of that game with Keith Jackson doing the TV end, which is also doesn't get much better than that. So enjoy your birthday, Greg. Because I did one with KP, I think one of my favorites, and I've said this before, a similar game would have been that Missouri game of 2010 where we just took it over in a clutch game. So enjoy the rest of your birthday and go Big Red.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks for the call. That was the Roy Helu game that he's talking about with the Missouri, where Roy set the single game rushing mark at Nebraska. And I spoke to a group earlier this week that sent some cookies in the Landing, a great little retirement community here in Lincoln the other day, and they showed a little highlight reel, and they showed a snap from that game with Roy Helu. And Roy's now an ordained minister up in the Omaha area. Saw him over the summer. Great to see him as well. Tim, dial us up on our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations, or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. We're back with some comments from the head coach. He met with the media earlier today. We'll do that next.
Do you want your date to wait for your interlock device to let you drive? Your kids to ask why you have an ankle bracelet? Or your boss to see your criminal history? Do you want to miss important life events because of house arrest? Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hello, I'm Tom Osborne. Thank you for your support of Teammates mentoring programs. Because of your generosity, we are able to continue our mission to positively impact the world by inspiring students to reach their full potential through mentoring. Please go to www.teammates.org.
This message is sponsored by the NEX Cashback app. Earn 15% cash back on every purchase, every store, every day at Nebraska Crossing in Gretna, the official shopping center of the Huskers.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns-for-teachers.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you incorporate value-added grains into your operation, you add more dollars and more value to every acre. When you add the MyCVA app, you see just how much more value with every digital scale ticket. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
We're back in our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. It is a Wednesday night, and we're going to have some comments now from the head coach as we go into a GoCurrency.com Husker football practice report. Coach Joseph met today because the team leaves tomorrow, headed for Piscataway in their Friday night date with the Scarlet Knights. Quick week. Because of the game being moved up a day, but according to the coach, it's been a good week.
I thought it went smooth. I thought the kids were champions. You know, the coaches did a really good job because it was a short week for them to prepare. So they worked late nights trying to get the game plan down. I think last night they got out here about 10:30, 11 o'clock. but they worked. The kids came back and worked today. So I thought it was really smooth this week. Well, you would hope that they could take some confidence from the game Saturday, the win Saturday over Indiana, and bring it into this week. Here's the coach talking about that. I think he's right on, because you got to look at it now. They hadn't won a lot of games. So if you was on his team and you lost 9 straight, would you think you can win every game? No, it's human nature to doubt yourself. So we talked to him about not doubting himself, and we do have high expectations for him. But right now, I think they're in a good place mentally right now for what the coaches are asking them to do to win football games. So I think they're turning over a new leaf that they did it. So when they finally had it done Saturday night, I think now they can see it. With these kids these days, they got to see it happen, and I think it happened for them. So I think they'll continue to get better.
Yeah, and they not only won, like I was saying earlier, they won it in a way where they didn't just blow somebody out. They had to figure out, they were tied at half. They had to make adjustments, and they were tied all throughout the third quarter, and there were some things that didn't go their way. And so having to find a way to win and finish, that's been the big word, is finish, to finish something out and come out with a win. I mean, yeah, hopefully they take a lot away from that, because it can. I mean, it's like Mickey said, it's just human nature at some point when things just are not going your way, and it's one score loss, and you're right there, and you can't figure out a way to get over that hump. And so to finally get over that hump, hopefully that does wonders for a lot of these players.
When you think about it, Huskers have 3 losses on the year. Yes, they got mauled by Oklahoma, but the other 2 were, again, those one-score losses that just have become the bane of this program. So man, just imagine, get another one Friday, and this thing could really start to go a little bit. And you also hope that the defense feels much better about themselves. After really being pushed around for the first 4 games of the year, they were the ones that pushed back on Saturday night, and that has to help them. Here's Coach Joseph talking about just kind of the fight and the attitude of the team right now. I saw it in the bye week that they bought in about what we asked them to do, to play fast. But you got to take credit. The defense really turned everything over when they started playing, and that's the way we're going to play defense, and that's where we want to play defense. But you can see the swag coming back to them. But you're talking about some kids that's been beat down for 3 or 4 years now, So it's not going. I mean, we think, oh, son, they're going to just jump and they're going to get into a positive mindset. That doesn't happen that easy. They've been getting beat down. So now they won a game. They see that they can do it. Now they're going to get better every week. All right, let's talk Rutgers a little bit. The Scarlet Knights are not an explosive offensive team at all. They hang their hat on defense. They're going to want to try to keep this a low-scoring game. They just don't have a ton of weapons on offense. What about their approach on that side of the ball? Here's the coach. Well, it's going to change a lot. We're going from tempo to like a 9-on-7 drill where they want to run the ball at us. So it's a totally different mindset. That's why the coaches had to put so much time in trying to get the game plan together and make sure we get the right bodies on the field. I don't know that we've seen that kind of style really all year, have we? I mean, Northwestern a little bit kind of pounded the ball at us, but I don't know that we've seen anybody really slow things down.
Yeah, no.
Oh, North Dakota did.
Yeah, they did.
They did. Took all that time off the clock.
Yeah. So we'll see how they respond to that. And again, I just think a lot of it too is, and Ty Robinson, you'll hear him talk about it in the Cornhusker conversation, but just a lot of players that hadn't played together before, and I think they're just figuring some things out and how to play alongside each other. And so, yeah, got to do it more than once. So we'll see how they respond and continue to build off of that. But it's going to be different every week. Mickey said it, I think, last week. It was Bill Bush that said it here on the show. Every week it's going to be a little bit different, so you're going to have to figure out who works best in personnel, and but yeah, we'll see how they put together the game plan for this one.
6 o'clock kick on Friday, 2 o'clock for pregame coverage here on the network. That is our practice report, which has been presented by Currency. Does your business need quick, easy, and secure financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? All you need is Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. Time to tell you to buckle up, put that phone down. It's a message from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. All right, when we come back, we've got our pick segment for the week. Can't wait to dive into that. That's coming up next.
Get your Ford your way at Woodhouse Ford. Completely customize your next vehicle and ensure that you are getting exactly what you're looking for. From cargo space to tires and even safety features, you can easily design a vehicle that meets all your needs. Plus, we make the process stress-free with 3 convenient locations and the ability to view all our inventory in one place at WoodhouseFord.com. You shouldn't have to settle, so start building your next vehicle at Woodhouse Ford today.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker pride, powered locally.
Served by Sam Sire, Matty Kubik, good pass. Ani Evans gives it right back to Matty. Kaboom! Woo-hoo! 7 apiece.
Hey Huskers fans, tomorrow, join us at 6 p.m. for an abbreviated Sports Nightly where we'll talk to Rhonda Revelle, head coach of Nebraska softball, about Saturday's More Is Possible rally. Then at 6:30, it's the Nebraska Volleyball pre-match show with John Baylor and Lauren Cook-West as the Huskers take on Michigan State. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red!
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Nebraska Innovation Campus creates partnerships between business and the University of Nebraska. Partners lease office space, laboratories, pilot plants, and greenhouses, all centrally located with easy access to University of Nebraska talent and resources. Nebraska Innovation Campus, creating spaces and culture that inspire. Learn more at innovate.unl.edu.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
SOS to the rescue! SOS to the rescue!
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioner is out again. SOS, he screams and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue! SOS! SOS!
Beardmore Subaru celebrates Nebraska volleyball again this season. 5 national championships, 47 All-Americans, and a home sellout streak dating back to 2001. The longest streak for any women's sport in NCAA history. Beardmore Subaru has been a proud supporter of Husker volleyball for more than 10 years. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the new Subaru Outback Wilderness.
Loaded with off-road ready upgrades and the new Solterra, Subaru's first ever all-electric and all-wheel drive vehicle. Go Big Red.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you. Time now for our Big Ten game predictions presented by Choices Treatment Center, helping people make positive choices. A quick review of last week's games.
You can take your time with this if you want.
Michigan and Iowa, we got a clean sweep. All five of us went Big Blue. They beat the Hawkeyes, so we went 5-0 as a group there. We go 0-5 in the Purdue-Minnesota game. Nobody took the Boilers. The Gophers go down. That surprised me. And they botched a bunch of stuff in that game.
Yeah, but Mo wasn't there.
Mo didn't play?
So that I think that hurt them. But yeah, I was kind of surprised that Minnesota had such a hard time scoring or moving the ball.
Clear touchdown and went off the kid's hands, up in the air in the end zone, intercepted by Purdue. You're like, it should have been a clear. It was an easy catch too, but nevertheless, Purdue wins it, so none of us got that right. Wisconsin, Illinois. Boy, this game ended up, I guess, costing Paul Chryst his job as the Illini win it. Only one of us took Illinois.
One of us. Yes, that is right. Someone was saying, Chuck on the chat said, Jess didn't do good, huh? Jess did all right. I didn't win this week, but I still did all right because it all started with Illinois.
Yep.
You wanted to do it.
I did. I couldn't quite.
And I pulled the trigger. I
remember that
did
I
it.
said I really want to, but I just don't have the guts to do it.
And I said I do. Yep.
Good for you. Congrats. You were the only one that got that right. We all took the Buckeyes to beat Rutgers. We all took Penn State to beat Northwestern, although that was closer than maybe a lot of people thought that it might be. Michigan State at Maryland. You and I went Terps. So did Tim and Molly.
The revenge tour.
Andrew went
made a bad
Michigan
pick.
State, and they did not win. They've lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Sparty. Ooh, boy. Washington at UCLA. That was a Friday night game, and man, this was a nice win for the Bruins. The final score was deceiving. It wasn't that close of a game. Only one of us picked the Bruins to hold on to home turf, and that was Molly.
Go Molly. I was shocked that UCLA dominated the way they did.
Me too. All right, Ole Miss hosted Kentucky. This was a really good game. Kentucky blew a bunch of chances. To Andrew, Tim, Molly, and I all had Ole Miss. You went Kentucky, and they really probably should have won, but they don't.
Yeah, they just, the quarterback made some bad mistakes, so darn it.
Another 0 for 5 coming up here, and that was the Oklahoma game at TCU. None of us saw the Horned Frogs winning, let alone winning big in that game.
That was ugly, and it was ugly from the start. Oklahoma was never even in that game, so boy, if they lose 3 in a row they're going to have a tough one again this week with Texas.
They're underdogs.
Yep.
In that game with the Longhorns. Oklahoma State at Baylor, big time matchup. Was this the rematch of last year's Big 12 championship game? I think it was. Was Oklahoma State.
Yep, it
Baylor.
was, and it was close. Baylor ended up winning in the last second.
That's right.
And it was like within inches that
That's
Oklahoma
right.
State almost came back, and yeah.
Well, the Cowboys go into Waco, pull off the victory. You and Molly go with the Cowboys, so pistols fire, and you got that right.
I did, yep. I thought Oklahoma State, their offense was going to be too much for Baylor, and also they were going to be motivated. The players had talked about how much they let that Big 12 championship, that loss get away, motivate them over the last few months.
Florida State at Wake. My boy Jeff Culhane let me down. He said, lock it up. Florida State was going to win. They looked bad. They played poorly. Wake Forest got it done.
You, Andrew, and Molly all went with the Demon Deacons.
I like Wake's quarterback. He is really good.
He is good.
He can throw it around.
He is good. So Tim and I go down with the Seminoles in that game. Clemson, North Carolina State. You and I, Tim and Molly, went with Clemson. They were a victor at home over NC State. So 4 of us got it right.
Yes, and the revenge tour also another bad pick by him.
That's right. Yeah, Andrew slipped up on that one. So we have a new winner. Molly goes 9-3. How about that? What a huge win. Jessica goes 8-4. Tim and I go 6-6. That's bad, back-to-back bad weeks for me. And Andrew had a tough one, 5-7 for Andrew this week. So
update us on that leaderboard, Greg.
So with the results, Jessica now has surged to the front by a game over Andrew.
Yes, that's more like it.
Molly leaps from last to third with the 9-3 effort. Tim is in fourth, and I'm pulling up the rears at 49-25. So how about that? Whew.
That's more like the leaderboard I like.
I got to turn this thing around. All right, let's get into this week's picks. Start with Michigan at Indiana. Anybody?
Nobody.
Nope.
Okay, we're all going Michigan. You're going to have to give me Molly's picks.
She hadn't sent them to me yet, so I'll have to give them to you.
And this was a really good game. In fact, we're going to focus on this in the pregame on the Blitz. Purdue at Maryland. Purdue coming off that big win. The Terps can score, though, and Maryland's defense has been leaky to me. I'm going with the home Terps to hang on and get to 5-1. I think Maryland wins.
I think I'm going to go with Purdue. Man, you want to talk about a team they're 2 plays away from being unbeaten. They're battle-tested. They're not going to be afraid to go on the road. I'm going to go with Purdue.
Okay. Tim and Andrew.
Maryland. Tua's little brother, that guy can play.
Yeah.
We heard from somebody earlier today, Scott Green over there, a friend of ours at Maryland. So I'm going to take his word on that.
Okay.
Maryland as well for me.
All right. So a couple of Marylands, you're by yourself.
All right.
On this one, you got Purdue. All right, Wisconsin at Northwestern. Badgers have an interim coach, and Jim Leonard, the defensive coordinator, takes over the team. The Cats have been miserable since we saw them. They played maybe a little bit better at Penn State. Give the Cats any chance?
They've burned me every time I pick them. So, no, I'm going to go with Wisconsin. I think they find a way to rally and get behind their interim head coach and win this one.
All right. Guys, anybody on the Cats?
No, I believe we're both Wisconsin here. What's the trend this year has been new coaches. Those teams that hire new coaches quickly get a win. So we're sticking with Wisconsin.
Andrew, you with that?
With Wisconsin.
Yep, on Wisconsin for me as well. Ohio State on the road at struggling Sparty. This has been a battle in years past. Michigan State physically has the athletes to match up with the Buckeyes, but the Buckeyes just have too much offense in my eyes. They go on the road and win.
I'm with you. I got Ohio State as well.
No shockers here. We're going OSU.
Okay. Very good. Everybody goes Ohio State. All right. Iowa at Illinois. Boy, this is going to be a good one. Low scoring, I think. 3-point spread. The Illini are the home favorite in this game. What do you think?
This one is the one I struggled with the most. I think, you know what? I think I'm going to stick with Illinois. I think they've got a lot of confidence, and boy, Iowa's offense is just so bad, and Illinois' defense has been solid, so I think I'm going to go with Illinois.
Guys?
Cannot trust the Peterson crew on that offensive side of the ball. Illinois has had a good year so far, and I can't bring myself to pick Iowa's offense right now, so I'm going Illinois as well.
Also going Illinois.
This is the kind of game that Kirk Ferentz will raise up and go get it done. I'm with you guys, though. I just don't think the offense is there. I don't think they can fix that right now. I think it's what they are.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, boy, Illinois, they didn't turn the ball over last week against Wisconsin, right? And so that's the only way that Iowa scores. And so if they protect the football, if Illinois protects the football, it's over.
Yeah, I agree. So we're all for with the Illini in that game. But again, mark my words, this is the kind of game Ferentz raises his team up and they go get a victory. We'll see. We all, though, picked Illinois. Good one out of the SEC. Tennessee having a really good year with Josh Heupel at LSU. The Tigers have rebounded after losing that opening game to Florida State. Tim, Andrew, what do you think on this one?
I'm going Tennessee because they've been kind of the Dragon Slayers so far. They've beaten 2 ranked teams this year, and they're not getting enough respect for it, I think. So I'm going to go with the Vols on this one.
Josh Heupel is really, really good coming off a bye. Tennessee coming off a bye. I think they've healed up a little bit. It's not at night at LSU, so it's a day game, so I'm going to go with Tennessee.
Andrew?
I'm going to go Tennessee, even though I'm a huge fan of Jaden Daniels.
All right, Tennessee hasn't played on the road yet. Give me the home team. I'm going the Baton Rouge Tigers getting the victory here, so I'm off script with you guys in that game. All right, I'm going to start with Andrew on this one. TCU, it is Jayhawks. Game day is going to be in Lawrence. They're going to be waving the wheat. The undefeated Jayhawks against the undefeated Horned Frogs.
Who would have thought?
Andrew.
Who would have told? If someone would have told you that game day was going to be at Kansas this year, would you have believed them?
You'd be
Yeah,
laughing.
For football, not basketball.
For football, yeah, first time ever. I mean, man, it's crazy. But I want Havoc in Lawrence. I want TCU. I want the Horned Frogs. Give me them to beat KU. Anybody.
Tim?
We're in a lot of lockstep more than I thought we'd be, because I'm going with that offense for TCU. I think it's too explosive. I think they're going to get it done.
I'm with you guys. TCU is this is the week that the Cinderella story ends for Kansas.
Make it a clean sweep. The Horned Frogs are really good.
Yeah.
I think the way they blasted SMU, who we're watching tonight, the way they picked apart the Sooners last week, they got too many weapons.
Sonny Dykes is doing things well down there.
Is. And Kansas was fortunate to win last week. The kicker for Iowa State was awful in that game, or they would have beat the Jayhawks last week. TCU ends the Jayhawks' unbeaten streak on Saturday. All right, let's go to the Pac-12. Utah, who I really like. Folks, if you haven't seen them play much, they're really talented. Lost that heartbreaker at the Swamp in week 1. They go to UCLA, who looked great last Friday night. I'm going the Utes. I just think they're a little bit tougher team, and I think they get it done on the road.
Yeah, and Cam Rising is just, boy, he's good. And I think the way that he lost at the end of Florida, he'll want to go redeem himself with this one on the road. So I'm with Utah.
Guys?
Again, I'm shocked here. I thought we'd get some dissension, but I'm going the Utes. They have a really good pass defense. They're one of the better pass secondaries in the country, at least statistically right now. And I think that's going to be a big decider in this one for UCLA. Is going to struggle a little bit through the air. And I think
Andrew's going to shake it up here.
I'm going to go with the Utes.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Four of us.
I shook it up last week, and I paid for it.
All right, let's go to Touchdown Jesus. Notre Dame hosting BYU on Saturday. The Irish are favored by 2.5 over a ranked BYU Cougar team. What do you think?
I think I'm going to roll with Notre Dame. I think, I know they have a couple tough losses, but I think they got things rolling, and I'm going to go with them.
I am too. I like Notre Dame. I think at home, I think that they've kind of ironed it out after a rocky start to the year for Coach
Aren't
Freeman.
they playing this in Vegas?
You're right, it is in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is neutral site game. So I like the Irish. I think they've kind of found a little bit of something the last couple of weeks. BYU has been a little leaky at times, particularly when they played Oregon a few weeks ago. I like the Irish. Gentlemen?
I'm going BYU here. I think I don't know if I'm the lone wolf because Andrew, I'm not sure, but I'm going BYU.
I'm going Notre Dame.
Okay. So Tim's the outlier in this one. Love it. All right, K-State, it's Farmageddon. K-State at Iowa State Saturday. This has been the bugaboo, one of the bugaboos for Chris Kleiman. He's been able to beat Oklahoma. He hasn't been able to beat Iowa State and Matt Campbell. Does he get it done this week?
I just have a hard time thinking that Iowa State will lose 3 in a row and at home, but gosh, I think I'm going to go with Kansas State.
Okay.
This is the one I really struggle with this one because I think it really could go either way. And we know Adrian Martinez all too well. It's which Adrian Martinez is going to come play. I'm going to roll with him. I think they've got things going with Deuce Vaughn.
I'm with you. I think the Cats have a pretty stout defense, and now Adrian's playing at a high level. I think they win a road game. Guys?
Yeah, for those reasons, I think Adrian, I think he stays hot, and I think that, right now Iowa State's offense is in a bit of a slump, and Kansas State's got a strong defense, so I'm going with the Cats as well.
Also going to go with the Cats.
Wow. I really thought we would divide that up a little bit.
And watch Iowa State win this one just because they won't, losing 3 in a row. I don't know if they will.
All right, last one, and we got to get through this quick. We're about up against the break here. Florida State at NC State. I've got the Wolfpack bouncing back after the loss to Clemson at home. They hold on to home turf.
I'm with you. I'm rolling with the home team, NC State.
Guys?
NC State.
NC State.
All right. We've got a lot together. Not very many
we do.
different ones on this week's picks. Should be some really good games over the weekend. Hey, if you or someone you love has a gambling problem, call Choices Treatment Center at 402-476-2300 or go to the website choicestreatmentcenter.com. Also, time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Back to wrap up the hour next.
Husker fans, Join us in celebrating excellence in women's athletics. Meet student athletes and alumni from every Nebraska women's program and commemorate the 50th anniversary of Title IX at the More is Possible Rally on Saturday, October 8th at Bowlin Stadium. This event will begin at 10:30 a.m. and is free for all ages. Register today at huskers.com/Title IX.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
It's time again for some Nebraska farm facts. For Nebraska soybean farmers, sustainability is a way of life. 97% of farms are family-owned, and 95% are participating in conservation programs and using sustainable practices. And they have significant sustainability goals by 2025. 10% more energy efficiency, 10% less land, and 25% less soil erosion. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Hey, go visit a participating AGCO dealer between now and November the 4th. Get yourself entered for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Wisconsin game in Lincoln on November 19. Plus, that'll include a pregame tailgate party. Go see participating AGCO locations across Nebraska. You could be a winner this season. Time for us to check out the SOS weather. How will it affect the game? It's supposed to be a beautiful night in Piscataway. High temperature that day in the low 70s. We're going to kick off after the sun sets. Well, probably the upper 60s. Not much wind. Should be nice.
I cannot wait to experience it. I wonder what kind of atmosphere it's going to be. Also, not going to let this show end without, you got a bunch of text messages coming on the line wishing you a happy birthday, also on the chat as well. Yeah. So happy birthday.
Well, thank you. Thank you to all. Everybody appreciate that very much. Our weather report brought to you by SOS Heating and Cooling. With fair prices, honest opinions, and longer warranties, they are the Omaha area's trustworthy company since 1950. Short show tomorrow night. We have Husker Volleyball. That'll roll at about 6:30 with the first serve of 7, but we will talk to Rhonda Revelle, Husker softball coach. They're kind of wrapping up their fall ball, and also the big rally is out at Bowlin Stadium on Saturday.
Should be a fun weekend out there, so we'll talk more about it coming up tomorrow.
Very good. Look forward to that. Our hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com. Hour 2 coming up. Sean Beckton, our football show, next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Get a Hy-Vee Plus Premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. For a limited time, get $50 off an annual Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG. That's right, get $50 off a Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, Nebraska football takes on Rutgers. Huskers Game Day is live at 2 p.m. with Ben McLaughlin. At 4, Greg Sharpe hosts Countdown to Kickoff, followed by the head coach pregame show with Mickey Joseph. At 6 p.m. kickoff, Greg, Matt Davison, and Jessica Coody bring you every angle of every play as the Huskers battle the Scarlet Knights. After the game, Bill Dolman and Jay Foreman host the fifth quarter show. Then Greg will talk to Mickey Joseph, and Jessica will speak with Huskers players before Matt Coatney and Jay talk to you on Big Red Reaction. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red!
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics, research, and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
This is the Nebraska Radio Football Show with tight ends coach Sean Beckton. Proudly brought to you by Channel. Channel Seedsmen place products to perform across Nebraska. Get expert advice that yields results at channel.com. And your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit buyfordnow.com.
Back to throw, looking
Wide open.
Wide open down the field. Throws it down, making the catch is Vokalek inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. Travis Vokalek's first catch. Marcus Washington this time in motion to the far side. Thompson.
Just got to get set.
Claps his hands, gets the snap. Play action. Step throws down the middle field. Pass caught. Borkacher. Touchdown. Nebraska. Nate Borkacher's first career Husker touchdown. Chancellor Brewington in the game to block. They fake the handoff. Casey rolls out, flips it out in the flat. Brewington makes a catch. He's going to go down to the goal line. Touchdown. Nebraska going to roll out, flip to Chancellor Brewington, and he scores.
Here's your host, Greg Sharpe, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome to our football show for the week, a night earlier because the Huskers play a day earlier. It's a Friday night game in Piscataway for the Huskers to take on the Scarlet Knights. So the Big Red will be boarding a plane tomorrow and flying to Piscataway and prep and get ready for the Friday night contest. 6 o'clock Central Time kick, 2 o'clock pregame coverage here on the network on Saturday night. This hour we're going to have a chance to sit down and chat with Nebraska tight ends coach Sean Beckton. He's been here for now his 5th season as an assistant coach at Nebraska. A lot to dive into with his guys. Just get his feel for how has it been with all the changes along the staff the last couple of weeks. Also, Sean is from the state of Florida. I'm going to work in a Hurricane Ian question, as I know he knows a lot of people in that state. Hopefully he has some happy stories to tell after that horrific storm went through the state of Florida a week ago that actually moved some games around, including one that's being played tonight, made up tonight, and that's SMU-UCF playing. That was supposed to have taken place last Saturday, but because of the flooding in the Orlando area, they had to move the game back. So there's a college football game going on here tonight. Time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Each week during the football season, during the Coach's Radio Show, we've been able to highlight a great play from the Huskers' past. This time we're going to go into the vault, pull out a defensive play made by one of the great defensive players of all time in Ndamukong Suh.
Throws right on line 2, 2nd and 10. Hawkins in the gun, gets a snap. Sets, throws, batted down, intercepted Ndamukong Suh. Suh to the 20, 15. Hawkins traps him, knocks him, touchdown Suh. Ndamukong Suh's second touchdown of the year.
Big play by the big man. That was in the last game of the 2008 season. Huskers went on to a Gator Bowl bid where they beat Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers in the Gator Bowl. A great moment in Husker history. Alumni Hall is your ultimate Husker shopping experience with the largest and best selection of apparel, vault gear, and tailgate accessories. Shop their 2 Lincoln locations or alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Huskers shop. Going to work a break in, and we're back. Sean Beckton will join us next. We'll talk about the tight end position and about Husker football with him. That's coming up next.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Sam Pineda with Campus News. Husker students on the debate team and Bateman competition public relations team earned national championships this past year, marking a first for each program. The debate team claimed victory with one of the youngest teams in the country, while the Bateman competition public relations team won their championship by building a PR campaign for the Lymphoma Research Foundation.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
The Ford truck lineup is purpose-built from the ground up, designed to be tough and productive. Crafted with high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body and torture-tested high-strength steel frame with new tech to help you work smart and hard. The F-150, Ranger, and Maverick are built tough and ready to tackle whatever lies ahead. Hit the road in confidence and learn more about Ford trucks in-store or online anytime at WoodhouseFord.com, your trusted truck dealer since 1975. Woodhouse Ford.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity.
They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Lo hace por derecha, busca hacia la zona, está dentro, anotación.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, the Huskers Radio Network is proud to present Huskers football in Espanol. Coverage of Nebraska's matchup with Rutgers begins at 6 p.m. Tune in at huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red. Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you incorporate value-added grains into your operation, you add more dollars and more value to every acre. When you add the MyCVA app, you see just how much more value with every digital scale ticket. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus. Insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation Solutions, crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
For 46 years, our focus has been our customers at Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont. Come see for yourself how easy buying your new car, truck, or SUV at Sid Dillon can be. Stop by our dealership in Fremont to order your new vehicle and shop in-stock and inbound inventory. And if you need a commercial vehicle, we're your GMC Business Elite dealer. Shop at SidDillonBuickGMC.com.
What drives us, Sid Dillon.
GMC, we are professional grade.
It's on our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions
for every field. Delighted to be joined by Huskers tight ends coach Sean Beckton. Huskers coming off that 35-21 win Saturday. Congratulations. That had to be a nice feel and probably a fun locker room to go into after the game.
It was great for everybody. I think the guys really enjoyed playing last week. You could see it, the emotion by all the guys, and they played with a lot of passion. And then the results, seeing the results from all the hard work that they put in, and Coach Mickey Joseph has done a great job with those guys, and really giving those guys really good messages every single week and every single day. And those guys went out and performed and played. It wasn't a perfect game, but those guys played, well enough to win on both sides of the ball and also on special teams.
You did have some penalties, and that's part of football, is to have some penalties that pop up on you. But I like the fact you get to the fourth quarter, it's a tie game, you had to dig deep to go win it, and that's been an issue. We haven't been able to do that a lot in the last couple of years, but they found a way to dig deep and get it done in the end.
Yeah, we ran the ball, that fourth quarter offensively. Coach Whipple demanded those guys to go out and compete and finish all week. That's what he talked about. We hadn't been finishing in the fourth quarter, and those guys really responded offensively, and then defensively when we really needed some stops, they rose to the occasion and got it done for us. So, great team victory. The momentum that we had on Saturday coming out of that game has carried over into practice this week. So guys are passionate about and really fired up about going to play Rutgers.
Coach, my favorite drive, you're up 7 late. You take 6 minutes off the clock to go 54 yards, and you just bled the clock, got first downs, ran the football kind of down their throat a little bit. It had to be a lot of good energy on the sideline watching that thing happen.
Yeah, it just reminds you of the old Nebraska football. Yeah. Growing up, being a kid from the South, you knew that Nebraska football was a really powerful running team when they really needed it, and it just brought back memories from there, and it kind of showed what our football team offensively can do, once they commit themselves to it. Coach Joseph has talked extensively about being tough, being very physical, grinding things out, and it was evident there. Wasn't pretty. The guys gritted it through and basically sustained blocks, and the running backs did a great job of running downhill. And, Casey did a great job of understanding the clock and managing it. We huddled a little bit more there. That's some of the stuff that Coach Whipple, with that pro mentality, he goes over all the situation with those guys every single week, and you never know when you need it.
Well, it was a thing of beauty, and then you take the 2-score lead, and you kind of just suck the life out of Indiana with that drive. I just loved it. It was a thing of beauty on Saturday night. I want to ask you about a comment Coach Whipple made earlier in the week. I think it was yesterday. My week's all off, Coach, because of this Friday game and everything. But he said, he gets frustrated sometimes because he feels like his expectations for the team is bigger than the team's expectations are. And he goes, for instance, we've scored on 4 of our first drives of the games to start the year. And he goes, then we kind of go quiet. He goes, we've already done it. So the guy should go out and expect to score again the next time they get the ball. And he goes, we haven't done that. Your thoughts about that comment about maybe sometimes the coaches have a little higher expectations than what some of the players do right
I
now.
Totally agree. In the tight end room, I'm like that all the time too. When Nate Borkshire got that holding call, my expectations, we don't have penalties out of the tight end room. So on the sideline, I don't know if people saw it, but I really got on him, after that particular play. But I loved him up and got him right back in. But the expectations got to be always high on everything that we do. The biggest thing that Coach Whipple sees is we know on that second drive there's plays that we could have had and made that we did not make. Whether it's a lack of focus, one guy here and there, taking a sack, missing a block, jumping outside, holding call. Those things are drives stoppers, and we just got to eliminate those. We're stopping ourselves, and that's the frustration Coach Whipple has, and we harp on it every single week. These guys just got to understand, that's part of football, and us for being perfect on every single thing that we do. And it's frustrating because I come in on Sunday and look at it and see, we missed this opportunity on the second drive where it should have been 14-0. Then on the third drive, we missed an opportunity there. It should have been 21-0. And then another opportunity later on in the first quarter, it could have been 28-0 if we just do what we're coached to do. So that's the frustration, and we've harped on that. We're as the offensive staff, we've harped on that to try to make sure we make really impressive gains this week on that for us to continue to be good on offense.
You mentioned you got on Nate. How did he respond?
He responded right back and went back in and played like there was no issue at all. We have a good relationship in the tight end room. They know I'm going to get on when there's something that's a little bit out of whack, or there's a little bit of lack of effort, or sustainability on the play, or focus. Those things we coach all the time, and then when they happen, I'm going to be dramatic with it, but I'm also going to put my hand around them. Hey, let's get back in there. Let's get it going. Next play.
Our chat with the coach, proudly brought to you by Channel. Channel Seedsman place products to perform across Nebraska. Get expert advice that yields results at channel.com. Visiting with Sean Beckton tonight on our Nebraska football show. Let's talk about Travis. Man, it was a double whammy. We don't win the game against Northwestern, and he gets hurt, and you don't have him for a couple weeks. Mm-hmm. How's he been? Is he back to 100%? How's he been playing for you?
He's back to 100%. Not one of his better games last week. I thought he played, pretty good. Early part of the game, I think he kind of withered a little bit once we got too many reps on him. So we have him on a somewhat of a count as the game goes along, try to separate some of his reps. But I think he's 100%. He's practiced better as a whole this week. We limited some of the stuff for him last week. Throughout the rest of this year, we're going to try to take some reps off, which is good. We need to get, Borkacher more. We need to continue to get Brewington more, and Hickman, and then A.J. Rollins, who didn't play last week. Hopefully, we expect him to get a little bit more reps this week in the game. He's had a great week. All 5 of those guys have had a great week. So I want to keep progressing him forward. Travis.
Chancellor had a catch, and we know he can block. Are you happy with the way he's played for you?
Yeah, I am. He's between him and Hickman. Normally, we kind of rotate those guys back and forth in certain packages. In our clutch 2-minute situations, one of those two guys will be in there. This week it was Hickman. Depends on how the game is going. It may be Hickman or Brewington there. So I'm really happy with both of those guys. In the passing game. Sometimes in the running game, when we really need it, it'll be more Nate Borkacher and A.J. Rollins in there.
Nate Borkacher is an interesting story. You and I have talked quite a bit about him in the past, and I think some people are surprised that he's kind of cracked that rotation because he's not a scholarship athlete. Mm-hmm. You've told me in the past, I don't care about that stuff. I'm going to put the best guys out there. Obviously, he's doing some things pretty well.
Yeah, we've identified him 2 years ago when he stepped foot on campus, and the good thing, one of the things that I've noticed since being out of Nebraska, there's a lot of really good football players that kind of get passed up, and these guys develop late. And he was one of those kids that really has come on, has bought into what we're trying to do with him every single day. Has done a great job with his diet and weight. Every time I see him in the calf, he knows that he needs to put on a little bit more protein for us, bulking himself up, and he's done a great job there. He's a natural pass catcher, natural route runner. He was a great athlete at Aurora High School. Saw it on tape when Kenny Wilhite first showed it to me. So, he's just like one of the guys that you develop, and he's going to end up being a scholarship guy. So he's a bonus for us in our tight end room until we can get some of the other young scholarship guys up to speed.
You mentioned A.J. Rollins really did some good things in the spring game. We've seen him out there some here this fall. Mm-hmm. Where is he in his development right now?
He's where I thought he would be right now. His weight is fluctuating a little bit, which hurts him a little bit at the line of scrimmage. He's really taken a huge leap in his pass catching and route running ability. I see it every single day in practice. I give him more pass skelly reps just to try to increase his pass catching ability as far as being able to run routes and get in and out of breaks. Coming from Creighton Prep High School was predominantly a running program over there. So get him in a situation where he can continue to develop his pass catching. He's going to be a really good blocker in his future here at Nebraska. It's just getting him to understand a little bit more on how to work people and how to attack the ball a little bit better, which he's definitely improved in.
How's he handling not getting more snaps? Because you obviously want them to be kind of upset because that shows their competitive nature, but they're also got to kind of earn their playing time, right?
Yeah, we talk about it every single after every single game. You know, why we played, or why you didn't play, and after the last game, you know, as a staff, we probably should have played him a little bit more to take a little bit off Travis, because I'm confident in his abilities. I don't think he can play 70 plays right now, but I'm confident in him to go in and get 10, 15 plays here and there and watch him continue to develop. You develop by going out and doing it and playing. We know he's not going to back down on anybody. You know, if there's a guy 300 pounds, he's going to try to block him, even though he's 230. You know, he's going to put his face on him and try to move him best he can. You know, so we look forward to try to continue to develop him and continue his progression as to be a great player for Nebraska football.
Nebraska 811 says, go dig red before you dig always. Call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free. It's easy. It's the law. Again, visiting with tight ends coach Sean Beckton here on our Husker Football Radio Hour. I get asked all the time, you probably do as well, what's the latest with Thomas Fidone? There's a guy who's so highly thought of. You guys were so excited when you got him to come to Nebraska, but doggone, those injuries keep popping up on him. What's the latest?
Well, I'm happy where he is as far as progression-wise, as far as his injury. He's in all of my meetings right now. He's getting the game plan. He's preparing himself like he's going to play every single day. He's in our individuals every single day. But he's not dressed out and doing team things right now. He looks good. He probably, in my eyes, he looks like he's probably about 90%, you know, watching him, you know, but the medical doctors have the last say on everything. So whenever they say he's cleared to go, he's still doing a lot of rehab. He's got a rehab program that he does, you know, after when he's done with me. But I'm really continuing to sharpen the blade with him, working on individual blocking things with him, and also pass catching things, you know, with him in and out of his breaks, trying to keep him sharp and kind of keep him crisp with everything that's in. Anything that we do offensively, adjustment-wise, as far as changing a game plan in the game plan, tweaks in the game plan, he knows. So it's basically a battlefield right now, off the field, kind of getting him ready to whenever his time is ready for him to come back. But I'm really excited about him. He's up to about 250 right now. He's still running. I can see him on the sideline. Once he's done with me and the trainers over there working with him, I see him running on the sideline. He just looks so much faster than he's ever been, and looks a lot quicker than he's ever been. You know, biggest thing, whatever the doctors say, we're going to always rely on them. It may be a month, maybe 2 months. I don't know. It may be, you know, none this year. You know, so. There's always a concern, I guess, when you have, you know, an injury on the same leg, you know, so we'll see what they say.
I'm told he's really good on the sidelines during games, encouraging guys, really pumping people up, trying to help coach a little bit on the side as well. You got to like to see that he's involved even though he knows he's not playing. Yeah, that's why I keep him in the game plan as far as meetings, and so he'll know. He can talk to Travis and, you know, Nate, hey, coach said this, the adjust if they do this, you know, so he's basically being an eyes for us, and then also he's very encouraging to everybody. I know Coach Applewhite, you know, Coach Whipple has mentioned that he's very engaged and very enthusiastic and energetic on the sideline, which we need, you know, more kids to be that way on the sidelines. Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. We've got more with the coach. We'll get into that coming up next.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Today's play of the day comes from Nebraska. We pick it up with the local sports announcer at a Nebraska Lottery retailer.
Dave enters the store. He makes a move to the checkout counter. Looks like he's going to pass. Yes, he's passing the clerk a few dollars. The clerk takes the handoff and spins around. It looks like he's placed the scratch tickets on the counter, and now Dave has them in his hand. It's the old Scratcherooski. He scratches left. He scratches right. Oh, my! He's done it! Dave has scored a bundle of cash.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you incorporate value-added grains into your operation, you add more dollars and more value to every acre. When you add the MyCVA app, you see just how much more value with every digital scale ticket. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Sid Dillon Chevrolet, we help you find vehicles designed with purpose and function, prioritizing safety, technology, and the dependability you need. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo to shop in-stock and inbound inventory, or to order your new vehicle. And as your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioner is out again. SOS, he screams and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
We are back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. It's the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. It's our Husker Football Radio Hour. Tight ends coach Sean Beckton with us here tonight. Huskers just 2 days away from playing again, a Friday night game in Piscataway against Rutgers. I'll ask you about them here in just a little bit, but I know you're from the state of Florida. That state's been in the news an awful lot lately for the wrong reasons. That horrible storm, the Hurricane Ian, that plowed through and even hit the Orlando area with some torrential rain. Have you talked to people down there? What have you heard?
Well, yes, it's always tough, being from Florida, as a young kid going through hurricanes. There's a thing that we do down there, understanding that when they come, you can't predict where they're going to actually hit. So where I was raised, you either get out of the way, board up your house, or leave. And some people, say, well, we're going to take a chance, and it's disheartening to kind of see some of the things that's happened to some of the people on the West Coast or the Gulf Coast over there. People did not heed to the warnings of a hurricane. I learned at an early age, from my family growing up, if it's definitely coming in the area of Florida, you better either board up your house or go north. So I know we had a couple when Coach Frost was down there. And I kind of helped those guys through the process with it. But, one of the things that you got to understand is, if you're on the coast with flooding, the wind damage, debris being thrown all over the place, those are the things that you got to protect from. And right now, FEMA and everybody else is doing their part, from over the years of understanding how hurricanes are. I think they got mobilization in there really, really early to try to get things, back to normal as possible. But I've talked to a couple people that got hit directly, friends of mine that grew up across the street from me that's from Fort Myers. He's doing fine, him and his family. My parents got a little taste of it. Growing up, we live in Ormond Beach, Florida, which it came out on the other side of us, coming out the Atlantic, going into the Atlantic. So my parents were out of phone and power for 2 days, and then they just got their phone back. Not their phone, but some of their utilities where they can get some of the things back to running. In the area that I grew up, the power lines are somewhat still high, so they were fortunate enough to have some people get out there really, really early. My son, who's living in my home in Orlando, all we had was just a little wind damage. A few years back, I changed out my windows for hurricane proof and put on a new roof. Obviously, my pool area there has been screened in, no issues there. So fortunate enough, my home in Orlando, didn't take any hit from the storm, but the community had a little bit of flooding, there. So obviously, when you're from down there, you kind of prepare yourself, and my son did a good job getting everything outside of the house, in the house, so it doesn't go over somebody else's home and tear up their home.
Goodness, thoughts and prayers for all those people. I know we have a couple players on the team from Florida. Are their families okay, as far as you know?
Yeah, one of the things Coach Joseph did, because he's been through one, Katrina, he brought in all those kids from Florida and, told them if there's anything that we can do athletically, we will get it done, and keep him in the loop with anything that we can do for him, and if they need to get home for anything, he called them in right away. That's one of the things that's one of the reasons why the kids really love to play for Coach Joseph. He really cares about it, showed it, there. But we had no issues with the kids from Orlando this year. We didn't have any guys from South Florida on the team. It's mostly Orlando up. So nobody from the area that it took the direct hit on.
Thank goodness. Hey, our chat with the coach is proudly brought to you by Channel. Channel Seedsman placed products to perform across Nebraska. Get expert advice that yields results at channel.com. You mentioned Coach Joseph. It's obviously been a crazy couple of weeks for all of you inside the program, and you haven't been around Mickey too long, just since he got here in January. How has it worked out kind of with you guys and some new guys in different roles on the staff right now? How's that all been the last 2-3 weeks?
It's been great. Obviously, I've been through it before, so I've kind of one of the veterans on the staff. I've kind of seen it. And Coach Joseph's known. He'll come to me with things here and there. Biggest thing I've noticed with Coach Joseph, he remained Mickey Joseph. He's still the same guy. He comes down the hall. He's very energetic with everybody. He hasn't changed. Some coaches that get in that inner position, they change. And, he's still the same guy. Has done a great job of messaging for the kids every single day. He has a team meeting every single day, and then he speaks to them at the practice. And then if there's issues with kids that he doesn't like on film, he'll call them in the office. And he's more hands-on as far as personality-wise. He communicates with the kids, constantly. He's back and forth, offense, defense, in all the special teams meetings. So he's doing a really good job of being around the kids, and he wants kids to come to his office. If there's no kids, he'll call some kids. Hey, Coach, I need to see this kid here. Come to my office. Have him come to my office before you meet him. He has a list of guys that he brings in, every single day, and he's just trying to get to know them. And then also, if there's some things that he see on film that he doesn't think is right, as far as effort-wise, he'll come in there and show them. So very hands-on. Still Mickey Joseph, very, very doing a great job communicating with the kids exactly what he wants every single week. Same thing leading all the way up to the games. He's coaching. Pretty much he wants our staff to coach all the way up until kickoff. And that's one of the things that he's brought, for us to make sure we continue to give these guys information all the time, all the way up to the game. And then from there, he's doing a great job of managing the game, understanding situations, doing a good job in that part of things so far.
Coach Whipple said he told Mickey he needs to get out of that assistant coach's locker room so you guys could talk about him. Has that happened yet? Has Mickey moved his stuff out?
Of course not. Of course not. He wants to be amongst us. So that's one of the things as being a brother, head coach. He still wants to be. He's been assistant for a long time, and he wants to keep that assistant vibe. So he comes in that locker room, showers with us, and, does all those different things. Like I said, he comes down the hall every morning. Hey, Coach, how's everything? Is there anything I can do to help you guys? Today's practice and this. So he's constantly communicating with us. He's down on the defensive hall, constantly communicating with those guys, not just the coordinators. He's communicating with the assistant coaches, communicating with Jay Terry, Mark, everybody, Coach Duval, everybody in the program, trying what's the best way to get these things done, for our kids. So that's one of the reasons why, those guys have really, really performed well for them.
Dorothy Lynch, home style and light and lean dressing, endless flavor abilities. Because he was elevated up to the head coaching position, you need a wide receivers coach. Mike Cassano's been around here for a while, right? How's he acclimated to taking over that room?
Mike's done a great job. Obviously, when Coach Joseph, came in, obviously when he was assistant receivers coach, and I think within 2 weeks he realized how good a coach Coach Cassano was. So it was a no-brain situation for him to elevate him up. Coach Cassano's done a great job with those guys. It's hard when a guy, particular guy like Trey, that Coach Mickey recruited and coached before, when Coach Mickey Joseph took the job being the interim guy and Coach Cassano took over you, that was one of the first things I looked at. And then, I saw right away the instant, okay, Coach, we got you. We're going to perform just like Coach Mickey was in the office. So you can kind of see that right away. Those guys kind of took the Coach Cassano running the meetings and being more in charge and setting up the drills and those things. Now, Coach Joseph is down there with him sometimes. I mean, he's in my drills. He's in everybody's drills. But there's some things that he sees, being a receiver coach, he's going to come over and demand, but Coach Casano's done a great job there leading that group. And you saw it last week, how those guys played. The guys played extremely well.
You mentioned earlier that you really like the guys in your room, and I've kidded you. You walked into a really good room when you got here a couple years ago, and Jack Stoll now is in the NFL. Austin's in the NFL. Are you keeping up with those guys? How are they doing?
Yeah, I try to talk to Austin and Jack. I'll try to leave them alone. I try to get them at the back end of the week. I know Austin's getting ready to get on a plane, go cross overseas. I talked to him last week. He's doing well. He needed the time to be on practice squad. He's happy where he is there because they do a good job of using the tight ends, and his strength levels right now is something he's got to improve on, as far as being able to block those 300-pounders, which he didn't have to do as much here. He says his pass catching abilities and all the work that we did here has helped him. So he's doing really well. And then Jack is he's just a warrior. I knew going to the right program, or right team, he was going to really be a good player. And he's shown that, that ability, that grit, and they use him in a multitude of different ways there. And him and Cam Jurgens, I talked to him and Cam are roommates now.
Oh, they are
up there.
Okay.
So they're both kind of doing well. He's kind of showing Cam the city of Philly. Stay out of this area. Hey, go to this area if you want to get something to eat. So those two are working together. It's funny because they were tight ends at one point here at Nebraska. That's where Cam started with me, and then when I had Jack and all those other guys,
it worked out okay for him.
It worked out extremely well for him.
Well, that's good. Congratulations, because you had a big hand in both those guys earning paychecks now in the NFL. Those Eagles are good right now. They might be the best team in the league.
Yeah, Philly's playing really well, and the Giants are playing. Austin really excited how Coach Day was doing with those guys over there. They got them playing really, really well.
The official co-op of Husker Nation is Central Valley Ag, and they invite you to participate in our football radio show. Whether you text from the tractor or call from the combines, farmer feedback is always welcomed on the Huskers Radio Network. All right, we talk about Philly. We're not going to be that far away from Philly when we go to Jersey to play Rutgers Friday night. What stands out at you as you study them? What are we looking at with their defense?
Well, very physical, athletic defense. A typical Coach Schiano, coach team. The guys play with a lot of effort, high effort, and that's one of the things that up front we've been harping on. Tight ends, O-line, match their intensity. They're going to play to the whistle, so we can't what we call loaf. That means not finish a block. We got to block all the way until the whistle. Those guys exchange gaps extremely well up front. They're going to twist and move a little bit more than what we've seen, and they're going to play real sound coverage on the back end. They've given up some big plays. I know they're trying to fix some of those things. Last week, Ohio State took advantage of some things on them, and they're going to stop the run. So we got to do a good job of understanding, where things are that we need to get done as far as in the running game, and then also, mixing it in with the passing game.
You and I were talking earlier. The last time we were there was the COVID year. We played them on a Friday night there in front of nobody. That was a Schiano defense as well. Have they changed much from that, or are they still kind of the same basic stuff that we saw Schiano do 2 years ago?
Yeah, same basic stuff. I know they have a new DC since we played against them, but looking at them, I think he's added a little flavor to them, a little change here and there, and then Coach Schiano still, you can see his trademark still also on the defensive side of the ball. You look at special teams, Schiano's has been a special teams guy and very physical team over the years. I've coached against them when we were at UCF. They're going to come out and play hard, in all three phases, and we know it. Coach Joseph's been talking to them all week, with the whole team about it all week, and it's just a typical Rutgers team that I've come to know. Very physical, great athletes out there, big kids that move up front, so we got a big challenge ahead of ourselves.
Friday night games, and I'm sure their fans will be excited. We haven't played a true road game. We played in Ireland, but there was an awful lot of red in the stands. This is going to be our first kind of true road test of the year, isn't it?
Yeah, we challenged our kids on Sunday about being going on the road. this is really truthfully our first road game. I know we did it as an offensive staff, told those guys we got to band together, all 11 of us on the field at one time and try to execute. We know the noise is going to be a little bit loud there. They got a blackout going on over there, so it's going to be a lot of passion, a lot of noise going on in the game. So we got to be able to be prepared for it and then match it, every single snap.
Last thing for you. Have you seen kind of a carryover of the excitement from Saturday? Has it carried through practice here?
Yes, it has. It'll be having a short week. Obviously, we modified the practice a little bit, and still being able to get our reps in and, making sure our kids are fresh to go out and compete on Friday. But hadn't changed at all. Coach Joseph has done a great job of every morning giving us a message at the end of practice, giving us a message. If things aren't going well, he'll call everybody up in the middle of practice and get things back on track, So we've had a very spirited practice yesterday, very enthusiastic practice today, So we got one more good walkthrough tomorrow and get on the plane and head out east, to the East Coast. And our kids are jacked up. They got a good taste of winning and what it felt like last week. I'm excited to see these guys get out there and play on our Friday night.
I lied. Speaking of jacked up, how fired up was the sideline after the block punt?
That's
such a fun play, isn't it?
Unbelievable. I'm back there in the back because I'm coaching the punt returns, just trying to make sure Trey was lined up, and I couldn't hear what the call was going to be, so I didn't know we had the block on at the time. Then when I saw it, I just saw the whole sideline turn and run, and the jubilation there, because this is a game-changing play. We talk about it. Coach Connors has talked about it. Even when Coach Bush was there, special teams have to make game-changing plays, and we finally got one. And the kids have worked. We've been close all year, been working hard on it, and I was happy for Joey Connors. He's a UCF guy. I was there for 2 or 3 years when he was there, and he's really done a great job taking over that role, and I'm really excited about him progressing as a really good coach.
Fantastic. We appreciate you coming in here. Have a good workout tomorrow, and let's have a good flight. Let's go win a game.
All right. Thank you very much.
There he is, Sean Beckton with us, Huskers tight ends coach. Well, if the Huskers return the first or second half opening kick for a touchdown, you could win a $54,000 credit on a new vehicle from Woodhouse Auto Family Dealership this season. A contestant chosen weekly. If you want to get yourself entered, go to huskers.com/Woodhouse for official rules and how to enter. Back with some final thoughts coming up next. Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
To win the game, you got to have more strength. You got to be tougher. You got to be reliable. You got to want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup that'll get more done where and when it counts. From your Nebraska Massey Ferguson dealers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Get a Hy-Vee Plus Premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. For a limited time, get $50 off an annual Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG. That's right, get $50 off a Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Thanks again to Coach Beckton for coming in and spending some time with us tonight. Busy week. It's such a short week. The guys really have to jam a lot more prep time into just one fewer day. And tomorrow's a big travel day. It's a long flight from Lincoln to Piscataway, not as long as Dublin, Ireland, but it's about as long as the flight as Nebraska can take inside this league. So we appreciate him coming and chatting with us here tonight on the program. Huskers and Scarlet Knights. This will be the 6th matchup all time between the two schools. Nebraska's never lost. They're 5-0 against Rutgers. The last time we played Rutgers was that odd, strange COVID year where they weren't allowing people into the stands. And remember, the Big Ten didn't start playing until right at the end of October. And then they matched up a team to play you in the last week, which was a week before Christmas. So it was December 18th. Nebraska got assigned to go to Rutgers to play the Scarlet Knights. Huskers won that game 28-21. On a Friday night, it was just eerie. I mean, night game, nobody there. You're kind of like, why are we playing at night with nobody in the stadium? But that's what it was. So the Huskers hope to make it 3-0 in that stadium, the SHI Stadium on the campus of Rutgers, with that 6 o'clock kick on Friday night. Rutgers comes in with a 3-2 record. They got their season off to a really good start, winning opening weekend with a late touchdown to beat Boston College in a matchup. 22-21. They were losing most of that game to BC in the opening weekend of the season, but got a nice road win. Then came home and crushed Wagner, an FCS school. Then went on the road again and beat Temple 16-14. The Owls down a little bit this year. Then it's been back-to-back Big Ten games. They lost 27-10 to Iowa and then 49-10 to the Buckeyes. So their last 3 games, they have scored 16, 10, and 10. They're not overly dynamic on offense, but they play pretty sound defense, as Coach Beckton talked about in the last segment. They'll hit you. They'll make Nebraska earn all of their points. So it's a 3-2 Scarlet Knight team, but 0-2 in the league against a 2-3 Husker team that is 1-1 in conference play. And as some of the coaches have said, and they're dead on, Nebraska in right now a tie for first place in the West. The only team that isn't 1-1 in the West is Wisconsin. They're 0-2 after the first 2 conference games. So here we go. Let's go have some fun with that game on Friday night. Again, tomorrow night, very short sports night. We only have a half hour because volleyball will take over at 6:30. First serve for their match at Michigan State is at 7 tomorrow night. So Jessica and I will be here. We'll hear from softball coach Ronda Ravel on the program tomorrow night. And our chat with the coach, proudly brought to you by Channel Seedsman. Place products to perform across Nebraska. Get expert advice that yields results at channel.com. Have a great night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sap Brothers. For over 50 years, Sap Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sapbros.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.com